I'm standing alone in my bedroom at 2 a.m., hands trembling, about to do something I've been too terrified to do for 28 years. One choice, one moment. Everything will change after tonight. The question isn't whether I'm ready. The question is whether I can live another day without knowing the truth about who I really am. But to understand how I got here, we need to go back 3 weeks.
For 28 years, I lived a life that felt like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. Comfortable enough to get by, but never quite right. It started small, a curiosity about my sister's makeup when I was 12. The way certain fabrics felt against my skin. The inexplicable pull toward the women's section whenever I passed through a department store. But it was always followed by shame, by pushing those feelings down, by telling myself I was being ridiculous. Everything changed on a Tuesday afternoon in October. I was working from home, finishing a project proposal, when a package arrived at my doorstep. I wasn't expecting anything. The label showed it was meant for the apartment next door. My neighbor, Sarah, had received my mail by mistake before. I walked over to return it, but Sarah wasn't home. As I turned to leave, she pulled up in her car. "Alex, thank you so much. Come in for a coffee?" Sarah's apartment was warm and inviting, filled with plants and artwork. As we chatted, I found myself relaxing in a way I rarely did. Sarah had this openness about her, a genuineness that made me feel safe. "You seem tense," she said gently. "Everything okay?" And then, without planning to, without even understanding why, I began to talk about the feelings I'd buried, about the person I'd never let myself be, about Alex and about Alexandra. I expected judgment. I expected her to ask me to leave. Instead, Sarah smiled. "Have you ever tried expressing this side of yourself, even just privately?" I shook my head, too scared, too ashamed. "What if I told you that you don't have to be scared here?" she said softly. "What if just for an hour, you could be exactly who you want to be?" My heart was pounding. I wouldn't even know where to start. Sarah stood up and walked to her closet. "I think we're about the same size, and I happen to have some things that might help you start figuring this out." Which brings me back to tonight, to 2 a.m., to this moment. The dress Sarah lent me is laying on my bed. A simple navy blue dress, nothing fancy, but to me, it represents everything. My hands are shaking as I pick it up. Every voice of doubt, every year of hiding, every moment of shame is screaming at me to stop, to put it back, to forget this ever happened. But there's another voice too. Quieter. Stronger. The voice that's been waiting 28 years to be heard. I slip the dress over my head. The fabric cascades down. I walk to the mirror, and for the first time in my entire life, I see myself. Not the mask I've been wearing, not the person I pretended to be, but me, Alexandra, finally visible, finally real.
Tears stream down my face, but I'm smiling, actually smiling. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I don't know how long this journey will take or where it will lead me, but tonight, in this moment, I'm not hiding anymore. Tonight, Alexandra is born. And Alex isn't disappearing. Alex is finally becoming whole. My name is Alexandra, and this is just the beginning of my story.